Good morning, Year 8. Welcome to our second lesson on statistics. And this morning our objective is, can you find the median and mean for a set of data? Now before we get into this, I would like you to try and do the fast 5 do now questions that we have here. So if you want to pause the video for a few moments and have a go at those 5 questions, we'll come back to them and go through the answers in a moment's time. Okay, let's have a look at the answers. The mode, if you remember from yesterday, is where you find the most frequent value in the list of data. And here we have 1, 2, 3 number 2s, therefore our mode is 2. The range, question 2, the range is the highest value, which is 7, take away the lowest value, which is 2, so our range is 5. Number 3, work out 7 times 3 squared. This is a BODMAS question, which is where you have to do 3 squared first and then multiply the answer by 7. 3 squared is 9, 7 times 9, 63. Question 4, what is 100 divided by 6 take away 2? Again, BODMAS. We do the thing in the brackets first, 6 take away 2, which is 4, 100 divided by 4, and our answer is 25. And finally, question 5, solve 3x plus 7 equals 34. If we subtract 7, we get 3x equals 27. Then divide by 3 gives us our answer, x equals 9. Okay, I hope you scored 5 out of 5 on those. If not to worry too much. So today, bronze, we're going to be looking to find the median value for an odd number of data values. Silver, find the median value for an even number of data values, and gold can find the mean for a set of data values. Keywords then are data, median, middle, value, order, mean and average. And we'll be looking at these things as we go. Right, so first off we're going to look at what the median is. And the definition of the median is that it is the middle number after the data has been ordered. Now, ordered basically means putting the numbers into order of size from the smallest through to the largest. So if we take the numbers that we've got here, these data values, and we put them into order of size, starting with the smallest, well our smallest number here is a 2. Oh dear, we're writing in white. I don't want to write in white. Let's write in red. A 2. Following the 2, we've got a 3. After the 3, we've got a 5. And then another 5. And then a 6, a 7, and a 9. If you space them out well enough, you can make sure that you haven't missed any by checking you've got the same number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got the same number of data values once you've written them in order of size as you have that you started with. Okay, now we've got to find the middle number. Now the easiest way of doing that is to, let's just see, the easiest way of doing that is to cross one off at the front, one off at the end. One off at the front, one off at the end. Cross one off at the front, one off at the end. So one off at the front, one off at the end. One off at the front, one off at the end. One off at the front, one off at the end, until the number that we arrive at in the middle is our median value. Okay, so 2 steps. Firstly, we have to put everything in order, all the data values in order from lowest to highest, and then to find the middle value, not one off at the start with one off at the end, one off at the start, one off at the end, until we are left with the middle value, and that is the median. Be very careful with the spelling of the word median. It sounds very similar to the word medium, but medium is a word that is used to measure the size of, say, a t-shirt or the size of a dress, whereas a median is the mathematical word for the middle number in a set of data. Now, what I would like you to try and do, here are some questions on finding the media for data sets. As in the previous lesson, we have some bronze questions that are very easy, very straightforward. Some silver questions that are a little more difficult. Some gold questions that involve decimals. And some more difficult questions, some extension questions that involve negatives. Now, I don't expect you to try and do all of them, not at all. It depends how confident you feel with the idea of the median. The first thing you have to do is rewrite the numbers into order so that you are writing them from smallest to largest. Now, you may decide, oh, I can do these really well, so I'm going to start with gold and then do extension. Or you may decide, well, I don't feel too confident with these, so I'll start with bronze and perhaps do silver. Choose a first selection from the questions in front of you and have a go. I'll move the pause button over here so you can pause your video for the next few minutes while you have a go at some of these questions. Put them in order of size, cross one off at the front with one off at the end until you are left with one remaining in the middle. Okay, have a go. Right, let's move on and go to the answers. Right, here are the answers, people. Hopefully you did all right on those. If you didn't get these answers, there's a chance that when you wrote the numbers, the data values out, you may have missed one off. If you got any mistakes, then I suggest you go back to the questions and check to see where you made those errors. Let's move on. Now, sometimes with the median, you might have more than one possible median. For instance, you might end up with two numbers in the middle. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. Here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data values. Step 1, put the numbers in order from smallest to largest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cross one off at the front, one off at the end. One off at the front, one off at the end. Now, I said that you might end up with two medians. Well, we can't actually have two medians. That's not the way this works. Yes, in the previous lesson we saw that we could have two modes. We cannot actually have two medians, so we have to do something special. And this is what we do. We add together 4 and 6, and that equals 10. And then we have to divide that by 2, which equals 5, and that is our median. Median equals 5. So to get our median, we add together the two middle values and divide by 2. We add together the two middle values and divide by 2. Okay, so in these questions, they're very similar to the example that you've just done. You will end up with two middle values and you must add them together and divide by 2 in order to find the median. Again, I don't expect you to do all of them. Choose a selection from bronze, silver, gold and extension based on how well you feel you can cope with these. Bronze, silver, very straightforward numbers. Gold, we involve decimals, and extension, we involve negative numbers. Okay, place your video on pause, please. Spend a few minutes doing these. Remember, you must write the numbers out first of all in order before you can find the median, and then we'll come back and mark them in a few minutes' time. Okay, here are the answers. Once again, go through, mark them. If you've made any mistakes, then please go through and check them and see where your errors are. Right, so now we move on to the mean. Now the mean is the fourth of the averages that we use in statistics. We've met 3 so far. We've met the mode, we've met the range, and we've met the median. Now the mean is the one that we typically in everyday life call the average. So the average, the mean, is where we add all the values together and we divide by how many we've got. And that gives us what we call the mean, or what we call in real life the average. There's an example. 2, 6, 5 and 7, 4 data values, 2, 6, 5 and 7. If we add those 4 values together, they total 20. 2 add 6 add 5 add 7 is 20. There are 4 data values, and 20 divided by 4 equals 5. The mean of those 4 values is 5. Now here's a bigger selection of data values. All those values, 5, add 7, add 2, add 12, add 8, add 5, add 4, add 9, add 4, add 1, that lot totals 57. There are 10 data values in all. The mean is found in exactly the same way. The sum divided by the number of data values, 57, divided by 10, and that equals 5.7. The mean for that set of data values is 5.7. Now, when we work out the mean, we do not round up the answer. We do not round down the answer. We leave it with a decimal place. Okay, so that's how we work out the mean. So for our final exercise today, we have to find out the mean of the following data sets. Again, we've got bronze, silver, gold, and extension. The extension questions here involve negatives. The gold involves decimals. Bronze, very straightforward numbers. Silver, more difficult numbers. Choose a point where you feel more confident starting. Challenge yourself if you want with the extension questions, which are quite difficult. I will put the pause button down here. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, let's move on to the answers. So, these are our answers for the mean questions. As you can see, quite a few of them in silver, gold and extension have decimal answers, and we do not round those answers. Right then, so just referring to our success criteria for today's lesson, by now you should be able to work out the median for a set of data values, and by finding the middle data value once you put them in order, and you should be able to find the mean for a set of data values by adding all the data values together and dividing by how many there are. And that concludes our second lesson on statistics and our final lesson on statistics for this week. Please don't forget to complete the questions at the end of the form and press submit so that I can tell who's been taking part. Thank you very much for your involvement, Year 8, and enjoy the rest of your week. Goodbye.